Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TFLnow Live, and today we're talking about your loved ones, your family, your friends, and which cars you should be buying if you want them to be safe. With me as always is my man Andre.
Hey guys.
And let's talk about the theme for today's show. It's basically the safest small SUVs for you and your family. We're going to be talking about the top 15 safest SUVs, crossovers,
Yes.
small ones, and that's because the IIHS, the Institute for Highway Safety,
Yes.
basically crash tested a bunch of cars recently, and they did something new. For the longest time, they would just crash test cars front, right? So, boom.
Boom.
Yeah, and then they thought, well, you know, people get hit in the side, so they started doing side crash testing,
Yes.
which is true. And then they really upped the game. They did the small overlap. Why don't you show them what the small overlap looks like? Use your book, actually, as a barrier.
So usually what happens is actually two cars actually hit offset like this.
Yeah.
This is mid overlap, but small overlap is actually hitting on basically the headlight area.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult test to pass.
It was a very difficult test to pass, and let's face it, a lot of manufacturers didn't pass it, and a lot of manufacturers got dinged and lost their top safety pick rating because of it. But time passed, and the manufacturers fixed that issue. You know, they increased the crumple zone, but now the IHS went and did the same thing on the other side. Show them.
Passenger
Show 'em,
side.
yeah, show 'em.
So this is driver's side, but now passenger side is important as well,
Yeah.
because we're carrying passengers in our families.
Carrying our family, friends, and loved ones in the passenger compartment, so you want to be safe. And ironically, some of the manufacturers actually made the driver's side safer than the passenger side
Yes,
safer.
because they're trying to comply with the test, right?
So now we've got this new test that the IHS is doing, and we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the very poor.
And the weird.
And no weird, just the ones that are, and actually there's a lot of surprises on this list because
Yes.
I'm looking at the list right now, and there are two cars that scored poorly, which are segment leaders, which is pretty scary. But first, as always, before we get to that, let's talk about the news. And Andre, you're going to be doing shout-outs during this, right?
Yeah, I have the chat room actually loaded here.
Okay.
So, guys, if you have questions, comments, say hello. Matthew Emmerich is here. Carcane, Brett, Radecki. I'm
Hey.
sorry.
Nice to meet you guys.
So thank you for joining, guys, as always.
Yeah, and let's get the news, and you're going to be talking about vans.
Yes. So it's a recent craze. You know,
Hey,
van
hashtag
life.
van life. We've actually both done vans.
Yes.
You did the California, and I did the Recon Nissan.
This is the recent news. Came out a day ago or so, and Nissan in Europe. This came out in Spain. Did more camper van conversions that you can get at the dealership. Basically, you can walk into your European dealership and order this. But what do you notice about this color scheme, and what other manufacturer does this look like?
Yeah, it looks exactly like the California VW that you guys, you and Nathan tested recently, right?
Yes.
That's a cool van. There's a video, by the way, of you guys driving it in California.
On our truck,
on our
TFL truck.
on our truck channel. And then I went to Arizona and basically did a conversion van, which was actually the
Very similar to this.
Very
Yeah.
similar to this, the Recon, which is the NV that they're converting, and you can buy here at your dealerships. Right now, conversion vans, especially small ones, European ones, are red hot. And it's interesting that Volkswagen sells them in Europe, but not here. Do you think that Nissan will make the same mistake?
Well, now they're offering something for both continents, right? So
Well, the one that I did on truck, the Recon,
is here.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not Nissan. That's an aftermarket company.
Yeah, but you can get
that's-
it through a dealership. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but still, you know, I mean, there's one thing to have the manufacturer actually do it and do it in the factory, and there's something else when you actually take the van and then you convert it. It's a conversion.
Yes.
These aren't conversions.
So very interesting. This is the van you tested.
That's a Recon, yeah.
Yeah, that's a Recon van. But if we can go back one image, I wanted to point something out. This overall layout with the front seats that rotate, right? They swivel all the way around. The kitchen area, the bed that's on the left, the storage compartment. That seems to be the thing to do because Nissan and VW have the same layout. So that must be the most efficient way to do that. And Recon did a very similar thing.
Yeah, but they don't swivel the seats, unfortunately. Right?
Well, maybe that's the next step.
That's a manufacturer thing. Now, I was thinking, Andre, and actually I had this epiphany when I was in Arizona thinking about these vans. Why do you think, and why do you guys think van and van life has become so prevalent and so important? Why has overlanding become such a huge thing? And I'm not going to answer that right away. If any of you guys, here, reach over there and give me the coolest hat. I'm going to go with the Rolls-Royce hat.
Sorry, I got my
Give me that
microphone
hat.
here.
If any of you guys,
Rolls-Royce?
you're going to get this Rolls-Royce hat, you can actually come up with the reason why the hashtag van life craze is so big right now. I will give you this. It has to do with kind of a I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with the convergence of technology. And the answer is actually one word. One word.
Really? I have no idea.
Yeah, one word.
Guys, if you can crawl inside Roman's brain get this word.
It's become kind of a thing within the industry. People understand why it's gotten so hot. So we will give you the answer to that at the end of this episode. And if anybody gets it right, it could be 2 words, but it's really 1 word. Either one word.
Yeah, a lot of people are joining us, so thank you.
Anybody take any guess?
Ellen from Canada is here.
Yeah.
Hello. David, Bugby is here. Z-Man, Keith, Mitchell.
Do you know how much this Rolls-Royce hat costs, Andre?
It must be $100 at least.
This is a $2,500 hat. I'm not joking.
Are you serious?
Maybe $3,000 for a Rolls-Royce hat. Yeah, it's bespoke. Can you tell?
It's bespoke.
Yeah.
It's
maybe $5,000.
Does it have you on it?
It has the double R. That's
Okay.
all you need, and it's got a sticky thing that's shiny. Maybe $5,000 for this. So this is quite the prize you're winning today. You'll be the only kid on the block walking around with a Rolls-Royce hat. And when you go to Pebble Beach next time, you will be in style.
You'll just go straight in.
Yeah, you'll be like anybody who's got the
So
Rolls-Royce hat.
there are a few guesses. Technology is one word. Flexibility is another word. Oh, I think we have a package.
Yeah. Hold on a
Zach,
second.
can you get a package, please?
Yeah, that's quite unexpected that they've come to our back door. They come to our back door. They usually come to the front door. That scared the hell out of me, Andre.
Boom! I think somebody's breaking in to answer the question.
Do we need a do not disturb sign?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That's the first time that's happened.
But here, guys, somebody says millennials. Somebody says freedom.
Yeah.
That's one word. Those are the one-word answers right now.
It could be 2 words, too.
Independence?
No.
How about independence?
No. Let's keep going with the news. But
Okay.
you're getting close. It's all part of that. But there's a specific thing that has recently, in the last 15 years, happened that has made this hashtag van life so popular.
Well, let's move on to this.
Okay.
That's your segment, dude.
Oh, my segment is Peugeot. I'm doing this, the new Peugeot 508. That's the wagon right there. Wagons are a thing again.
Yes, they are.
You know, I think what happened was when the baby boomers were young, right? They went across America in the Buick wagon. Roadmasters.
Giant.
Right? And you never want what your parents have. So it skipped a generation, right? So now that the millennials are coming through, right? They're back into wagons, and Europeans are building some sexy wagons. We've driven and reviewed the Ultra, which we have actually as a long-term one. We just did the review of that. We compared it to the Outback.
Yeah, and that video is coming soon to TFL Car.
Yeah, coming soon.
Oh, look at this.
Yep, there, we just compared them. Look at that. This fresh off the press this morning. That's going to be quite the interesting review.
Colorado cars. Which one is a better Colorado car?
Yeah. Yeah. And you might be wondering how we got the Subaru. Watch the video.
Story,
it's a long story. It wasn't from Subaru. I drove the Buick Active X, which is the Opel rebranded, the Insignia rebranded. BMW still has their 3 Series wagon that you can get.
Recently had the Jaguar wagon.
The Jaguar shooting brake.
Volvo wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, here's another question. If nobody gets, because it's hard to read my brain, right? If nobody can get this answer, why overlanding is a thing and why these vans are so hot, I will give you another question. All right?
Off the grid. That's a guess.
I'll give you another one for this hat. Actually, let's give you another hat. We'll give away 2 hats. Pick another hat.
Oh my gosh, you want another hat?
Let's give a truck away.
GMC.
Yeah, we'll do the GMC hat.
Okay. That's not a bespoke hat.
Yeah, we got another bespoke. So this one is why van life is such a big deal right now, and this one is, can anybody tell me why Jaguar is called a shooting brake? What does the word shooting brake mean? Where does that come from? And that one you guys can probably Google.
Okay.
But shooting brake. It's a really silly name, right? A shooting brake. Like, when you think about it, you feel like you're coming to a stop and you hit the brake and the brake shoots out of the car. It's a shooting brake.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's a British thing.
Yeah.
But what does it mean? So the shooting, what is a shooting brake? That's for the GMC. The first one who gets it, and leaves a comment for us wins it. and this one is a millennial thing. Actually, it's not millennial. It's a van life thing. Okay, so yeah, so we've got these sexy wagons, including the new Peugeot 508. I think wagons are coming back. I love that. Look at that. That is.
It's not coming here yet. I mean,
It's not. Well, we have no Peugeots.
Yeah, well, no Peugeots in the United States.
I rented a
but
Peugeot
maybe
once in Europe, a wagon.
How was that?
It was soft.
How long ago was it?
This was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was, I think it was a 4.0 something wagon, and it was really soft and squishy, and it felt great on like side roads and B roads. And then once I got it on the Autobahn, it got really light really fast. You get it up 100 miles an hour, and that squishy suspension just air gets underneath the car, it lifts up. You kind of feel like you don't want to be going much faster.
I think French cars are known for being like comfortable rides, right? Kind of
Yeah,
softly
it was very
spun.
comfortable. So yeah, I hope wagons are a thing.
Well, let's move on. There's another piece of news.
Yep.
So there's a
Pez dispenser.
kind of.
The car dispenser.
Yeah.
Is that the Wolfsburg?
Well, no. There's a service called Carvana.
Yeah.
Carvana. And it's a new way to purchase a car. You know, if you purchase a car, they could deliver it to your house. But this is a vending machine car. Makes it fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, a vending Pez dispenser? For
Yeah, you put in your ticket or your coin in there, and then the car comes out.
Wait, you mean deliver a new car?
Yeah.
So you buy a car?
When you buy a car, and this is the way it's delivered.
Well,
You can go to the vending machine.
So that's the way it's delivered in
Yes.
Wolfsburg.
Yes.
Right? Wolfsburg has
Right,
this
it has a tower.
It has this big tower. So Volkswagen takes pride in the fact that if the car is built in Wolfsburg at the old original factory, it never actually has any miles on it before you drive it. What happens is they build the car, then there's a tunnel that goes underneath some of the property, and it deposits your car into this giant car Pez dispenser.
Yeah.
People from all over Europe go there to pick up their car.
So I think this is a similar concept.
And then the car gets stacked. And then when you arrive to the delivery center, what happens is you go into the Pez dispenser, and it's like a ride in an amusement park. They actually strap you in, and one of those big
Really?
stacking mechanisms has a set of seats on it.
Really?
Yeah, and you
Wow.
ride up and down, and you check out all the cars, and you check out your car, and then you go into the delivery center, and then the big machine comes and picks up your car and deposits it on another conveyor belt. It goes underground, and it pops up right there.
That's fun.
In Wolfsburg, where you pick up the car, and there are, you know how many miles are in your car? How many kilometers? That
0.
much. You're the first one to drive it. It's a big deal. And
There you go.
you can't do it as Americans, European delivery, but if you're in Europe, every day, hundreds of people go to Wolfsburg to pick up their VWs from that giant Pez dispenser. This is coming to America?
Yeah, this is a
What brands?
couple of cities. Well, this is Carvana's service, so
Okay.
it's kind of like a dealership offering cars.
Are
So
they cutting out the middleman? Is it working? We don't know. Is it on our website?
yeah,
All right, go to our
and
website.
they're not our sponsors. This
Yeah.
is just something fun that we found.
Okay, all right.
There's something else.
Yes.
Ford just came out with ratings, government ratings for their big SUVs.
Yep.
The Expedition
Yep.
and the Navigator just got
They
5
got
stars.
crash tested.
Yes, but
Not
this
by
is,
the IHS,
no,
by the
no,
government.
this is the government,
Okay.
the NHTSA.
Yeah.
Crash tested these and gave them really high ratings. But it's not a huge surprise because the F-150 that this is based on also has good ratings.
So I was walking around
So-
a local Ford dealership this weekend.
Yes.
And I was checking out what kind of cars are popular, and this dealership has a lot of trucks, and they had 3 not Expedition Navigators. And by the way, did they crash this Navigator too?
Yeah, they did.
How do they do?
Same.
Same thing.
5 rating, 5
Yeah,
star.
and they had
5
3 of
star.
them on the dealership, and I just saw them immediately because they have so much presence. That Navigator, right? It just sticks out. You're like, now that is a car that you won't miss coming or going. And sitting at the dealership, even though this dealership had hundreds of F-150s, literally, those 3 Navigators just jumped out at me. It's a really good design. When I first got
cool.
into it and got behind the wheel, there's a video of me comparing it to the other big SUVs on TFL Truck. I was really amazed. By the way, Andre, we've done a lot of cool videos. Let's talk about what videos are on some of the other channels. So what's on Truck? What happened with you and Nathan in your little misadventure?
Well, yeah, we published a video yesterday where
Yeah.
we took a Nissan Frontier in the GMC Canyon up Pennsylvania Gulch, which is a new trail you found.
Yep.
And we had a mishap.
Did you make it up to the top?
No.
What was the mishap?
We had a flat tire. The tire on the Frontier basically just got completely shredded. We had to back down the mountain because we couldn't make progress. But I took the canyon further up.
Yeah.
Frontier.
Yeah, but that's because popped the tire on the Frontier.
Yes.
So it's a really fun video. It's one of our classic TFL adventures. It's on TFL Truck. And then today we published a really interesting video. Tommy went all the way to San Diego and test drove the new Nissan. Come on, do it. Kicks, which is basically built on the Versa platform and is replacing the outgoing Juke. So this is much more in line with kind of the current styling. So with cars like the Kona, which is also brand new. So if you want to see Tommy's millennial review, and it is a millennial review,
it's a really good review. TFL Car channel.
Yeah, hop on over to TFL Car, and that's brand new. And then coming up this weekend, we've got some exciting stuff. What are we putting up on truck tomorrow? This is a big one, guys. We've been waiting for this. We'll give you a hint, but what's the video?
F-150 diesel
redo.
Ike Gauntlet number 2,
which
is our toughest towing test in the world.
And I take it you didn't like catch fire and careen down the mountain.
No, it went okay, but you'll have to watch the video to find out exactly what happened. First time the F-150 diesel had a pre-production calibration problem in the limp home mode.
That's what Ford said.
Yes.
That's what Ford said. We don't know.
Ford said, yes. And we had to retest it.
Yeah, but we didn't confirm that, according to Ford. I think it's
well,
important.
I'm not
right.
Ford code master, so there's a lot more people joining. There is Armen Kasablian, who is speaking Russian to me. So thank you, Armen.
How do you, don't you say? Isn't it Spasibo?
Spasibo.
There you go.
Some people are guessing where you park it. Is that where hashtag is?
No.
Why not hashtag?
No. No. Did anybody get the shooting brake yet? What shooting brake came from?
When the brakes vibrate instead of a
clamp.
Shooting brake because it's sporty.
No.
Bring back CTSV wagon.
No, I know that. Again, we're not Google masters there yet. So the two questions for the hats are, for the Rolls-Royce, why is van life and overlanding a thing right now? What technology drove this? And for the GMC hat, where does the origin of the word shooting brake? It's British. Why is it called? Why do the Brits call station wagons either estates or shooting brakes? There you go. Very simple.
I'm trying to read all your comments. Thank you for your comments, guys.
But let's get to the main part of it, huh? Let's talk about the top 15 small crossovers and SUVs that were rated best to worst. So I think we'll leave the worst at the end because they're surprising.
Yeah, because there's different things going on there.
Yes. Let's talk about the best, and let's talk about each car. Let's start with number 15 and go to number 6. So there you go.
On the CRV. And by the way, these are ordered in the ranking for passenger side small overlap crash test,
right?
Which is the newest, hardest test to pass.
So this one rated good. Has anybody rated like that triple safety plus rating they do yet? Do we know?
Well, yeah, a lot of the 2018 models get, there are 2 ratings you can get. Top Safety Pick Plus, that's the highest, including the adaptive cruise control systems and crash avoidance systems and headlights. There's a Top Safety Pick with no plus. And then there is just everything else below it.
And to get that Top Safety Pick Plus, you also have to have good headlights. There's a lot more into it, and that's a tough test too because a lot of cars are failing the headlight test. Yes. Now here we're talking about just passenger safety. So
this is a very popular crossover.
I think it is one of the
most because they don't sell fleet sales.
Yeah.
And if you don't count fleet sales with others, this is number 1 basically.
My mom had the very first version of CRV, which was kind of underpowered.
I remember.
It had a little Civic engine in it, and it was kind of a funky, underpowered car. Not a good tow vehicle by any means, but this car now is much bigger. It has moved up.
One of the biggest in the segment, actually.
It's one of the biggest in the segment, and I can see why it's so popular. It has a lot of appeal for a lot of different people.
Turbo engine.
And a turbo engine. Yeah. It's basically got room, overland off-road ability, and now safety. So congratulations, Honda. All right, what's number 14?
Hyundai Tucson.
Oh, there you go. Very similar, right?
Very similar. I mean, same segment basically, and it's also related to the next one, number 13, which is a Kia Sportage.
The 2 are sister cars.
Yeah, basically similar platforms. You know, same kind of company.
You know, the Koreans came in here kind of copied that Japanese model, right? They came in under the market value of a lot of cars. Came in with a lot of value.
Guys, keep talking.
Relatively inexpensive cars, and I think somebody else is at the door. This is quite the.
Yeah. I actually test drove this in San Diego when it first came out, and the quality level over time, like you were saying, is just coming up so great, right? I mean, just fit and finish, their technology, they always had the great warranty, right?
Yeah. So they did really well, and I think you know, Hyundai and Kia are one of those brands where the economy's bad, the cars do really well. And right now the economy's not bad. They're struggling a little bit. CEOs are getting replaced, but I don't know about you, Andre. I've got this feeling that we're back kind of where we were at in 2008 in the auto industry, right? The auto shows are slowly dying because manufacturers are pulling out. They're battening down the hatches. I think with all the politics that's happening, with trade coming, there's a sense in the industry right now that we're going to go into some rough waters. You know, we're at, I think this year, last year we were at 17, almost 17 million units sold. And then in 2009, what happened is we went from 16 million units to 10 million, basically cut half the number of cars that were sold. And then, of course, the government had to bail out GM and Chrysler, or FCA. Before it was FCA, and then Ford, of course, has a massive loan. I feel like we're maybe heading into those waters. So these brands might be poised to do well because they offer a lot of value for, you know, relatively low dollar amounts.
We had a little bit of an audio problem.
Yeah.
Is the audio better now, guys? Let us know.
Yeah, actually, stand by for 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go down the list in case you missed it. So 15 is the Honda CR-V, 14 is the Hyundai Tucson, 13 is a Kia Sportage, and number 12, Andre.
Mazda CX-3.
Okay.
And this is a subcompact, so that's a little bit lower than some of the others we just discussed. And it's actually a really fun car, right? It just has a lot of sporty ability. The engine, well, it's not that powerful, right? This Skyactiv technology is very high compression.
Well, actually, we drove it in San Diego, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Was the CX-3 or CX-5? No, we did the 5, so that's a 3.
Yeah.
So it got a good rating. You know, it's a car that looks good. Mazda's issue always has been their dealer network, so it's hard for Mazda to get a lot of traction because it's a small company and they have a limited footprint in America. But as that B segment crossover, it's a really good-looking car. Probably one of the sexiest in class.
Yeah. So let's move on. We need to keep going just a little bit faster. Number 11 is Mitsubishi Outlander, and there's one behind us.
Yeah, I think you were wondering why that was behind us, and now you know.
Tell me, what did you guys reviewed it, right, recently? What's coming up?
Yeah, we reviewed it with a QX60, Infiniti QX60, which is also a 3-row crossover, and the QX60 basically costs 2x that. We did one of those fundraisers where is a QX60 twice as much car as a Mitsubishi Outlander.
Kind of like a mashup.
Yeah, a mashup. Yeah. You know, we like to do that. We like to take cars that don't necessarily compete and stick them together.
Well, this is really good ratings, by the way. Also got good all the strength, side impact. So this car has got a really rating as well.
Okay, we're right at time. We got 7 minutes.
Whew. Mazda CX-5.
Yeah, now that's what we went and test drove in San Diego.
That was a lot of fun.
I think, once again, crazy, sexy car in its segment. And
a fun car.
Fun car, yeah, and I love it in that red. It's just really, and actually I think that is in San Diego. That's where that program was.
And it's good to know that it also has a good safety rating, right?
Yeah. So if you have a passenger, it's a good one to put into. Let's keep going.
Chevy Equinox. I went out to the East Coast to test drive this, and I did a small review with Alex on Autos. He was also there. Really fun. So the thing about this car, several turbo engines. You know, you can get a 1.5, you can get a 2-liter. So if you get a 2-liter, it's actually a very fast car.
Nice.
And it's good to know it's safe.
Yeah, let's keep going. Jeep Compass.
Jeep Compass, this is a new one.
Yeah, brand new world car for Jeep. You know, this is one of those cars I think that they're here in America, but it's kind of designed for China. Mm-hmm. You know, it's got a little bit of a pokey engine under the hood, but it does have that Jeep go anywhere goodness, so it's another car. It might be good for overlanding.
Yep, next is GMC Terrain. I had a pleasure of driving this near Pittsburgh. Once again, this is a sister car to the Equinox, basically. Same architecture, same chassis, just a little bit different design. And also, by the way, they offer diesels, both the Equinox and the Terrain, for a diesel option.
I think diesel's dead in Marc-Andre. I think diesel.
But
anything.
you still buy one now.
I think diesel in anything but a heavy-duty truck is pretty much dead. I think it's even dead in some ways in the truck that we just tested, the F-150 and the EcoDiesel.
But they're still coming out.
I think Volkswagen just really poisoned the water for diesels.
They did poison the water.
And we had a bad reputation with diesels in America. And actually diesel's dying in Europe too. A lot of the cities are saying we don't want diesels. And my issue with diesel is, I think they're great for certain vehicles. Like, in Europe,
trucks make sense.
In Europe they stuck it in everything, right? Every car had a diesel. And it doesn't make sense. You don't need a car in a small...
shoebox with a diesel?
Yeah, you don't need a city car with a diesel. If anything, I think the industry is going toward electrification, and so now you're going to see a lot more electrification as
FCA announced it.
Yeah, and I think they're all going that way. All right, so now we've got those are the
BMW
good.
X1, just one more.
Yeah, one more.
Which is a base. Basically,
it's the smallest of the X.
It's the first X.
Yeah.
And it's also front-wheel drive platform, which is kind of interesting for BMW.
It's also shared platform with Mini, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So good passenger protection.
Yeah.
Boom.
So if you've got friends, loved ones, it's a good car to go.
So let's go to acceptable rating, which is just one notch lower.
And what's going to happen is you're going to see older cars here.
Yes, some are a bit older, but acceptable rating just means it didn't do as well. So there are certain things that IHS noticed, like maybe intrusion into the passenger compartment was too much for a leg injury, maybe the head injury or something like this.
Was the dummy decapitated?
No dummies were hurt during this. I don't know.
So acceptable is not a full-on decapitation. Okay, good.
So a Buick Encore and tracks are on this list, but see, it's difficult to get a great safety rating with a very small vehicle, right? There's not a lot of crash protection, crumple zone.
There's a lot less crumple zone you can engineer, but they're small vehicles with excellent safety ratings.
Yeah,
so you can't do it.
You can't do it. It's very hard.
I think you have less real estate to work with.
Number 3, we're going to marginal.
Uh-oh.
So this is a little worse.
Yeah, that's the old Forester.
And some of the other things that you have to watch out for is airbag deployment. Where does the airbag deploy and how it protects you. So the Forester got an acceptable rating, and Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. So the smaller version of the Outlander, the Sport one, got an acceptable rating. And
wait, before we get to the worst ones, hold on. So now we're talking about decapitation. The poor. This is where people's heads come flying out of the. Am I wrong? I'm wrong.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope no heads roll.
no dummy heads were like
rolling.
But these are actually very because only 2 vehicles got the poor rating.
Yeah, and once again, these are vehicles that were designed a while ago, and they're trying to meet a brand new test for passenger safety. So, number 2 is RAV4.
Yeah, which is also
the current one.
That's the Adventure, which is also one of the more popular vehicles in the segment.
Yeah,
it's always CRV and RAV4, the 2 compete.
Fighting for the number 1 spot, always.
So if you crash on this side, you're okay. But if you crash on this side, not so good. Oh, interesting.
There you go. And finally, number 1, Ford Escape, which actually Ford is working in place.
Yeah.
So obviously in the RAV4, and the new one is coming very soon.
So we've got older vehicles, they don't have quite the same amount of technology. All right, well, last 2 minutes.
Yes.
Did anybody guess how you win the Rolls-Royce hat? Because this is stuff, man.
Boy, I don't know
anybody
if we're having a lot of luck.
No luck, huh, guys? You guys want to know?
So what's the word?
All right, so how come overlanding and has become
in life?
You know why?
Why?
Well, the 2-word answer is social media, and the 1-word answer is Instagram or Facebook. What happened was
somebody guessed social media.
Yeah, and whoever guessed got it right. But basically what happened was people went around the world, started taking pictures of themselves, like chilling by waterfalls, just having a great old time with their vehicle next to, the geysers of the world, and all of a sudden, everybody wanted to go out and see the world. So it's the ability to share those experiences and moments in your life where you're with the family, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, right? Just chilling back in your van in call it Glacier National Park, that made overlanding and van life a thing.
And sharing the experience.
So yeah, whoever
Trey12388.
All right, good.
Please email us at info@tflcar.com and let us know how we can send you the hat.
And the shooting brake, right? Anybody get the shooting brake?
The shooting brake was a tough one.
Yeah.
Just people are saying it's a station wagon.
It's a station wagon.
Sure, but you're saying where's the origin of the word,
Yeah.
right?
So I think the origin of the word, if I recall right, is from an old, Brits like to go hunting, right? And so the word shooting is you would actually have your shotgun in the back of the vehicle, and since shotguns are long, you wanted to have like a lot of length in the back of your vehicle so you could actually store shotguns, and I think that's where it comes from. Like it's a old reference to like going out and hunting.
Somebody did guess
Yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
and shooting.
Yeah.
Tessa Husk.
All right.
Tessa?
Same thing, Tessa. Where does she email?
info@tflcar.com, Tessa, and we'll send you the hat.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the audio issues. We'll work on.
There's one more thing.
Yeah.
We always like people's help with Patreon.
Yep.
If you have detailed questions, you can go to patreon.com/tflcar. You could help us. I'm a patron.
Yep.
Help us with a small amount every month, and put your questions down on the site, and we'll go there and answer.
We get dozens of truck questions every week, if not more. People asking specific questions like, what truck should they buy? How much weight should I use? How much weight can I tow? What car should I buy? And we just can't answer it. And those 411 people basically get a personalized car buying service from me, Andre, or Nathan. So if you become a patron supporter of TFL and you have a question about what vehicle you should buy, or how much you can tow, or what we think about anything, then ask it there and we'll answer it. If you just send it to us, I'm so
it might get lost.
Well, it probably won't get answered because I'm either traveling, editing video, or shooting videos, and you're doing the same thing.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, when I come home at 8 o'clock at night, I just don't have the energy to be a personalized car shopper for people. I don't. Sorry.
Thank you for joining us as always.
Yeah, thanks. And remember, go to TFL Car and TFLtruck.com for more news, views.
And real world reviews, no joke, real world.
Yeah, real world.